Hello again, it's Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery in the backyard. And I'm going to do a little blooming technique. I have used my color shift from Folk Art to make up, and that's a residual from yesterday, not much. The other paints that I've used are right here. Starting with what's on my turntable, which is covered by a tile and an edge catcher before it's cut. This is the paint I get from Walmart. That's the black and the white. So hopefully you saw that. Here are my colors. I finally have too many colors, which is just perfect. This is an orange mica powder from my Amazon site. This is a Masterminds that came out of a bottle like this. Only it's that color. This is a white mica that I don't know what I'm going to do with yet. This is a golden fluid product, which is like $27 for 4 ounces, but I just had to know. It's also got some golden iridescent pearl fine in it to make it shimmery. This is a combination of 3 different blues so that I could get something dark enough. And I believe that this was actually a paint from Master's Touch from Hobby Lobby. So I have cell activators in both black and white, and I made up one from that golden product also. And I am going to put these aside, and this is my little practice run. I'm going to give myself a couple of lids and a dish to pour off into, or maybe I should just use that as my pillow paint right now. That might be kind of interesting. You know what else I'm going to do right this second before I go on any further? I'm going to grab, where to put it? I'm going to grab some sticky wrap and put it on my edge catcher because I don't really feel like schmutzing up my whole edge catcher. This is maybe the ugliest sticky wrap ever and never easy to pull off. But I'm going to do it. So, there we go. Just out of the gate. I also, just for your information, made up myself some pour pans. Oh, I've got golden iridescent. Well, it's not iridescent. That's the magenta. So I'm a little bit discombobulated, but otherwise I think what I'm going to do is grab a OXO omelet turning spatula and some of my regular black paint and put it all the way around the edges so I can spread it down the sides also. It's really cold out here today. I mean, I know I'm a wimp because I've lived in Florida for a few years now, and 60 with a cold breeze and no sun is like what it used to feel like when it was 10 below in Maine to me. I can't believe what a wimp I've turned into. It's sad. It's just so sad. So these are little canvases from Hobby Lobby, and I actually got to tell you I prefer the ones from Michael's because they don't have the fold showing through at the corner, and I like that much better. But it is what it is, and I'm still learning this. I think I might be getting very close to having done 10 of these now, but it might be closer to 7 at this point. So this is just to get me going and add some paint into those corners so I don't have to do it later. I don't wear gloves, but I do have a nice icy cold bucket of water ready to stick my hands into when I need to. So this is my first experiment, and I'm going to take the paint that I saved from day before yesterday, and I'm going to use it as my pillow paint because I can. That's the name of my book on the Amazon link under Show More under the video, and I like that there's no waste there. And I want to try my mica colors. I don't want to try too many of them because I'm afraid I'm going to go too far. Maybe just some purple or some blue. I can't make up my mind. Maybe both. We'll see what happens. I'm pouring this off into another dish anyway. I want to try some of that white, although it would be better to find out on a black background. I have some really pretty yellow, but it was a nice mango colored orange. Actually, you know what? I'm just going for it. You know how it goes. I've got gold too, but I think that's going to wait, and I put it, oh, you know what? I lied. That's a lot of paint. Do I care? Probably not right now because this is recycled. And I'm so pleased with myself for having done that. So let's just grab the cell activator in both the magenta from Golden, and black whatever, which was probably Artist Loft. So I'm going to go ahead and grab something to put those down on. I'm going to throw that in the bucket. Bring my little catcher bowl up here. I'm recording a video. I'm going to blow into these. Maybe it's too cold to do this today, but I'll still have something pretty because the colors are pretty.
Well, I'll be back.
If I did this right, I could probably retrieve some of those right now. You know what? I'm just going to do that. I know I'm supposed to let this set. Let me see if I can set that right up there on that for now. I'm going to take my straw. Because I'm pretty sure that pillow paint that I poured off had had activator in it as well as whatever got poured off. I want a little more. Right there. Most of the time I cannot get myself to pour this away. And I wish I had another small canvas to pour it onto. I wonder. Hey, look, I do. So while that's setting, I think what I'm going to do is take away these little things and bring out another canvas. And then when I pour, because I can, because I want to, I'm just going to pour onto another canvas that I can actually touch up the sides. I've got another OXO omelet turning spatula handy. And I am just covering as much of this as I can, including the center. Why not? I don't think I'm going to need... Well, it's probably better to have a pillow on here, but I think I'd like to find out what happens, and I'll make it into something no matter what. I'm not going to worry too much about the sides, but I always say that anyway. The excellence of this omelet turning spatula means that if you get paint on the spatula, on the blade, it's a nice thin even blade, and you can put it right onto the sides very, very cleanly most of the time if you have a nice layer. It's really good to keep the blade level. So we've got some really pretty stuff happening there, and I don't actually want it to I don't want to do anything to it. It's so cool. I usually use GAC 800 by Golden in all of my paint mixes, but I don't do that in the blooming paints. And I did actually, for the first time the other day, find some paint that only had GAC 800 in it, and I used that. And I used that because I did have a few fissures. They didn't go all the way down to canvas, but my first couple of blooms did have some crazing. Not extremely, and the next ones didn't have it at all, but I don't know. I didn't keep really good track of what. I'm going to knock that little pillow of black off there. Move this over where you can see it. It's a good experiment. Makes me happy. Wow, that's so pretty. Alright, so I'm going to get ready to get my hands mucky. And I may be tipping the one below as well. It's only a 6x6 canvas, but it was out here waiting for me, so I figured I might as well use it. So when I get enough paint on this poured off on this other canvas, unless I swipe it, which I could, the one I'm working on I mean, I'm probably going to pour another puddle of paint around what I've got and see if we can flow it. That way you won't have to try it if I fail. Which looks like a pretty good possibility at this point.
got your eggs. So I'll be back.
Okay, thank you. He's off shopping for breakfast. Oh, I've got a lump of something over here, and it can go away. So I've got some pretty stuff, and it's nice and cold out here, which means that the chances of any paint drying in any kind of hurry are probably not very good. I should probably be excavating any paint that's falling off the sides with a spatula, because I can. And I might swipe too. Alright, so I've got too many things in my way, too much stuff going on all at once. I think I can handle it though. I've got more paint coming down. I'm gonna put this down right over here. Grab that paint, put it right down on there, and grab a little swipe card because I'm not super impressed with what I've got over here. It's pretty, for sure. I'm going to grab a little tiny swipe card, and then I'm going to make sure that the paint that I'm using is the cell activator. Because I can. Because I like experimenting. What can I say? A lot of people seem to be experimenting with this, which is pretty cool. I'm going to blow on some of that. Oh, I almost grabbed the wrong. I don't want the pillow paint. I didn't use any of it anyway. I did make myself a tool that I'm going to go get. So keep watching that, and I'll be right back in a second. I took the filaments from a basting brush and I put them onto a putty knife because I really wanted to find out what can happen when I add this. Oh, that's so cool. I don't know if I want to do that. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go right over the edge with that. No, I didn't want you to blow into that painting. Well, there's nothing there that's worth saving right now anyway. So I could torch. And this is highly unusual, I'm pretty sure, for this technique, but I'm pretty sure people will start to play with the technique as time goes on, because you can only make so much accidental art. So I'm pretty happy with that, actually. Even though there aren't a ton of cells, I really think it's gorgeous. So other than the fact that I am going to add a little tiny bit of paint right along that edge where I can see some canvas, and carefully, because it's so much stickier than my paint pouring paint. And the torch really does release quite a few cells. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not totally concerned at this point in time. I'm going to work on the other painting. I got 2 minutes left. Ha ha ha! I do not have a lot of time. Alright, but I love the colors in there. That's just gorgeous. I'm happy. And I'm going to add some of my cell activator to the other painting and swipe on it and see what happens. I'm going to grab that lid. Yep, and it rests on there perfectly. So I'm going to do that and see what happens, and throw some gold in there and grab a bigger swipe card. Because we like to know these things. Oh, I've got some other paint left over on my... Let's grab what? Let's do the white pearl. and then put some of that cell activator right on the card in the magenta. And use it on the white pearl. And I might actually want a few more colors. The white pearl doesn't show up very much, but it does show up some. So I'm thinking, what am I thinking? I'm thinking white cell activator. And this is Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery, playing with leftover paint on a spare canvas. And still having fun doing it. Very much so, in fact. I really like this other pink, and it's a color art pink from Primary Elements, which I forgot to show you guys that. Alright, so now, how about some more cell activator? Now we really don't have enough pillow paint on here, so whatever I might have been expecting, I wasn't really expecting anything, to tell you the truth. I'm getting some interesting cells. I've got 2 minutes left. This is feeling a lot more like an abstract expressionist painting to me. Yeah, that was a double. But I'm not minding it either. It reminds me of one of my other pours. And I'm having a good time. And I think I'm going to grab a straw. That did not work out exactly like I had in mind. But I want to play with this mica powder because I can. And you guys are going to be gone soon. But I'll be experimenting. Because I can. Maybe not the prettiest thing so far, but I don't give up easily. So, what am I thinking? I'm thinking more cell activator in places I really want it. And maybe just see what happens. My new toy. And a little more gold. I wish I could get some of that gold to go right up here. So why don't I just put it up there? Ooh, I don't like that. That's gonna go away now. There we go. I don't know. There we go where. But I didn't have to waste any paint. I'm still thinking that I can get away with playing some more if I want to. Oh, there's a color I didn't use. And I didn't use much of this cell activator anywhere on these new colors. I can't really reuse the same card, which is probably most of my problem, and I keep trying to. But I suspect this is going to be cooler than I thought it was going to be. And I kind of like that about it. Doesn't really go down over the sides, but let's do